So I just finished watching Amok Time. This was the season 2 premiere, and what an opening it was. Such an iconic episode. I really enjoyed it. This was also the first for a couple things. We had a new title sequence, new opening credits with DeForest Kelley being credited as playing Dr. McCoy. Music was a little different. We also get the first time Pavel Chekhov joins the crew, and that was kind of fun getting to see him, and he and Sulu kind of play off of each other a little bit. I'm waiting to see more from this character. And the other big one that we get is this is the first episode we get to see the iconic Vulcan hand sign, and I'll get to that a little bit later. So the basic premise of this episode is Spock is going through some sort of biological change. Something's going on, but he's not being open about it. He's not telling Bones or Kirk what's happening. All he's telling Kirk is that he has to go back to Vulcan, his home planet. And so they decide to go back there. And when they get there, there's this whole ceremony going on because Spock is going to get married. He's been kind of betrothed to this other woman. And that was kind of interesting. We get to find out that Spock has a wife, so to speak. Anyway, the big thing is Spock has to fight Kirk in this episode. There's the challenge, and this is one of those iconic scenes that we've seen parodied several times before of Kirk and Spock fighting with the American Gladiator type weapons. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, there were some parts of the fight scene that were a little cheesy, but overall it was pretty well done. My big issue was I kind of saw the twist coming, but it was still a good one, with McCoy giving Kirk a shot to supposedly make him a little bit stronger because he couldn't breathe the air too well, and in fact it was some sort of drug that basically knocked him out and paralyzed him, made him look dead. So it appeared to everybody that Spock is the one who killed Kirk in this battle, and I can see, 40-some years ago when the show came out, 50-some years ago, whatever it was, that was, a pretty incredible thing. That was pretty shocking, I can imagine, and I don't think people would have necessarily really seen the twist come. I saw it partially because we know Kirk is going to survive, and McCoy was there, and he just happened to have something to stick him with. It was a little bit set up, but hey, it worked. The thing I really want to talk about is this fight scene. We saw this fight scene parodied in was a Cable Guy with Jim Carrey. I particularly didn't like that movie at all, but that scene when they're at medieval times parodies this scene here. We've seen, I know, like Futurama has taken it, The Simpsons has taken it. I've seen it before. We've all seen it before. It's that iconic fight scene. And I think also the other thing that makes it really notable is the music. That music really sticks with you, that dun-dun-dun stuff that they have going on, and I like it. And from what I understand, it's used elsewhere, so that's really cool. I had mixed feelings, I should say, on the stuff that happened on Vulcan. The new CGI that they did, this is one time I can say it looked really cool. They had only a few seconds shot of them walking over this huge stone archway to get to this ceremonial ring. That looked really cool. Really great design to it. And then we get there, and the scenery didn't really bug me. It was the costumes. The costumes that the Vulcans wore were just really silly, and I couldn't get past it. They didn't look good. I get it, it's supposed to be some alien race. It was not aesthetically pleasing at all. Very distracting at times. There was one guy that had like this covering, but just covered his nose, so he kind of looked like this. Weird stuff there. There was like the Prime Minister or something like that of Vulcan who had some significance. Her costume was alright, and the fact they carried her in, they had some cool stuff there. But I didn't really dig the culture that they were setting up. I was hoping it was going to be more interesting than it was, because I guess this is the first time we've really seen the Vulcans. other than for just Spock and getting to see their culture and getting to learn more about them. I was a little let down by that. But we did get to see the Vulcan hand salute, which I cannot do. I've been trying probably since I was a little kid to do that, and that's about as far as I can get. So if anybody out there knows some tricks on how to do that, because I know people can do it. I've seen people do it plenty of times. I just can't. But we get to see it for the first time. You know, that's a big thing from Star Trek. People know that salute. The other big thing I want to talk about in this episode that I really liked was the ending with Spock going back to the ship after he supposedly killed Kirk and getting ready to turn himself in for arrest and everything, and he's talking to McCoy, and McCoy keeps trying to interrupt him to tell him the truth, and he's not listening. He's just like, listen, doctor, this is what I have to say. And then Kirk shows up, and we see this ball of joy come out of Spock, which was so much fun. And then, of course, he catches himself and has to be very reserved and very stern and serious. And they talk about that and they make some jokes, and McCoy pokes fun at him. That was a lot of fun. So, overall, I really like this episode. This is one of those great episodes. The writing, the acting, the story, everything came together in this. So, Season 2 is off to a really good start, and I can't wait to see where it goes. So, I will see you guys later.